Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. This past Sunday was a bittersweet day. It was July 5th and would have been my stepdaughter's 30th birthday. For those of you who don't know or are new to these Pause and Prays, folks at the parish know and many others know, on December 1st of last year, my stepdaughter Vanessa died after a long struggle with drug addiction. She leaves behind 3 beautiful children, 1 who was adopted by a very loving family, and 2 who are being raised by a wonderful and beautiful village. Vanessa's grandmother always had the tradition of gathering at the graveside of loved ones on their birthday and holding on to balloons as they shared memories of that loved one and then letting them go. So this past Sunday, July 5th, part of that village gathered at Vanessa's grave here in Milwaukee. And together we held on to balloons. We brought butterflies to release because Vanessa's name means butterfly in Greek. And we shared memories of Vanessa. We released those butterflies and the balloons, and it was a heartbreaking and yet beautiful and hopeful moment, at least for me, and I think for all of us. Because as we stared into just how much life can unravel in terms of addiction, we also were experiencing something deeper than all of that unraveling, holding on to us and even working in all of that to weave life together again. We experienced the depth of love, or the believer would say, the depth of God able to weave life out of the most unraveled thread. And that's perhaps why we were able to smile and laugh through tear-filled eyes, while we were able to experience pain, but also joy, grief, but also gratitude for the gift God gave us in Vanessa, and the gift of God's ability to again weave life together out of the most unraveled threads. It's a gift that St. Paul reflects on in the second reading given to us in the daily office today. It comes from chapter 8 of Paul's letter to the Romans. It's a passage that many people pick when they're celebrating the funeral of a loved one. Maybe that's why I thought back to Sunday at the graveside of Vanessa, because it's a passage where Paul tells us that nothing, not life nor death, not things present or things to come, can separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus. That no matter how much it seems life has unraveled, God continues to hold on to us all and work within all that to weave something back to life again. And what a gift that is, a sacred invitation for us all to pause and to pray about today. How we've experienced that gift of God, weaving life out of unraveled threads. Whether that's in the experience of love dwelling alongside grief and heartache, like we experienced at the cemetery this past Sunday. Or maybe it's in those sources of peace that we find in the midst of the storms that life is bringing to us. Or maybe it's even found in the gift of compassion that wells up in us when we've been struggling with something, all to lead us to want to reach out to other fellow strugglers because we know what it's like. And again, we can't help but marvel that no matter how much life may seem to unravel on our end, nothing can separate us from the love of God that works within all that has been unraveled to weave us back to life again. God's peace and blessings to you all.